One batch of chickens left. Hey, I found an egg. That doesn't happen very often. Somebody got out of bounds. Hi, I'm Pete, and welcome to Just a Few Acres Farm. We continue a beautiful stretch of weather. It just goes on and on. We'll get to this later. Morning, ladies. Good morning, Ordning crew. Hey, bud. How's it going? Orton's pining after the heifers that are across the way. Hey, little one. Awful dark in here. They just look like black blobs. What's going on out here? Oh, you guys got plenty to eat. Looks like Titus is after Dolly. He's sticking with her. You're fine, don't give me that. I've spent most of this week working on the winter pasture, regrading. The way it was, there was a low spot down in there and then the land came back up. So what I did is I used the box blade and I pulled quite a bit down to make a more even slope. That, and I picked many tons of rocks. I'd take a swipe with the box blade, go back and pick the rocks off, put them in the bucket, haul them over to the woods. Slow work. There's still a lot of rocks in here, but they're small ones, baseball sized and smaller. That's just the way it is around here. We got rocks to spare. My curtain drain runs, of course, along the east side of the barn here, and the new fence is going to come to the outside of that so the cows don't get into the stone there. And then in here there was a soft spot where the stone ended on the slope and it became flat before the curtain drain, so I put some item 4 gravel in here with geotextile fabric underneath it to stabilize that. And then the fence is going to swoop out and go outside of the curtain drain on this side as well. I think I could mess around with grading this forever, but today's the last day. I'm just going to do some touch up and then it'll be done. Now, let's see, where should we start here? powder dry. That's it, I'm done with picking stones. We'll take these to the woods. I'm done grading, now I'm going to smooth. So I'm going to pull the teeth up. And we want the box to ride fairly level so it's not plowing in too much. That looks pretty good. Yep. And now, we just go round, round, round. Set the box plate so it's at tractor level, which is about there. This will just smooth out any little humps I got left. It's dusty. Inevitably, I pick up some trash. So we'll dump that right here. I'll just put it up against the fence here, close to it. I can't do this with one hand. I thought I was done, but I'm not. Flattening the pasture is done. You may be wondering why I picked rocks and tried to do such a good job. I felt like it. This field has been kind of a wreck for a long time, and last spring we started cleaning it up, if you remember. Actually, it was a year ago last spring. And I just wanted to flatten it out. I think what I'll do is, after the cattle get out of here in the spring, I'll go back over it again and catch any low spots that still exist. And I'm not going to seed this before the cattle come into it because it's too late in the season. Not much will come up, and they turn it to dirt in probably a month or so anyway. So that's the way it'll be. The other day I went to the mall. I don't go to the mall very much. It's not a place I really enjoy, but the strangest thing happened. I was walking back out to the parking lot and I was attacked by a whole bunch of clowns. Seems strange, doesn't it? Well, I won. I went straight for the juggler. Oops, I forgot there's one other thing I need to take care of here today. It's through the winter pasture gate and right over here on the other side of the fence at the outlet pipes. This is the only portion of the system that I left uncovered here at the vents. I did that because I wanted to make sure everything was draining all right in here before I covered it up. But now I can cover it up. Done. This trench that runs down to the retention area, I'm not going to flatten that out until spring. I'm going to let it settle for the winter. I am whipped. It's been a long week of picking rocks and working on that pasture. I like to talk a little bit at the end of some videos. Some people enjoy that, some people don't. I guess that's just like everything in the world, right? There's something that's been on my mind that I think has broad application. I've always thought a lot about the subject of control and what we control and what we don't control and kind of where we put our energy. And so there's common examples like how much you seek to control other people. Obviously that's a fool's errand, trying to control other people, and letting go of that control I think is one of the signs of maturity as we get older. There's a concept in permaculture called zones, and the idea is from your home or from your base of operations, the zones are numbered 0 to 5 as you go out. So tight to your house would be zone 0. That would be the highest zone of control, and then as you radiate outward, you exert less and less control on your environment, and that has a lot of benefits. The energy you expend trying to control nature and your environment is lessened that way, and you can really focus on the things that are close to home, so to speak. That's important here around the farm, because if I tried to keep this farm like a golf course, I'd spend way too much time doing it, and it would have ill effects on the environment. I like wild areas like this, and so does wildlife. And so you'll see areas of our farm here and there where we don't exert a lot of control. Now there's a mid-century aesthetic, mid-20th century aesthetic where every blade of grass is clipped and every bush is neatly squared, and you know the aesthetic. That's kind of the suburban lawn aesthetic. I don't subscribe to that. And one of the reasons I think way back to when I was a kid and I would go to older relatives' house, and by older relatives I mean people that were alive at the turn of the 20th century, 1900. And their lawns were kind of mysterious, and they were often farms. You'd wander around and every tree would have wild growth around it. And if you looked in that wild growth, usually there'd be something interesting buried in there, an old piece of equipment or something like that. I like that. There's an air of mystery to areas like that, as well as all the wildlife that they hold. So it has all kind of benefits. Release and control as you work outwards from your base of operations. Energy, care, personal energy, the energy you put into cutting and chopping and trying to control nature. It makes a lot of sense in a lot of ways, and it makes the world a lot more interesting than everything looking like a lawn. Anyway, that's my thought. I have one simple announcement for the end of this video. I won't be at the farmer's market this coming Sunday. I can't remember the date, but it's a week from the posting date of this video, because I'm going to be going to the plowing match down the road. I hope you have a great Sunday, and I'll see you next time. Hi, ladies. Were you listening to me yap?